Good evening. Welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has praised security personnel for their gallant efforts during the recent non-aligned movement and G77 plus China summits held in Kampala. At a Thanksgiving held at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds and attended by representatives from various security agencies, President Museveni commended their pivotal role in ensuring the smooth and successful hosting of the summit.
By 1900, you must put all these things in a context. You must understand them well. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized, except for Ethiopia. And for Africa, we had gone through 400 years of slave trade. It was not only Africa which was colonized, even much of Asia was either in colonies or semi-colony, like China. China was not fully colonized, but it was like a semi-colony. So therefore, the big group you saw here, this is potentially a very powerful group. As you heard, the countries were 120. If you add group of 77 plus China, the population of these countries is 6.6 billion people. Obumbi mukaga n'obukadde lukaaga. %80 of the human population are here. So therefore, you should understand the importance of these meetings. These countries are the liberated slaves, the countries which had been enslaved but have now been liberated. And they are the majority of the human race. And they were all here. So therefore, it's a big honor for them to come here, first of all. For us, it's a big honor, but also a big opportunity. We have nothing against the other countries who are not part of this. Actually, we want to work with them. But they should respect our views. They should not come and...
Another parliamentary committee on natural resources has urged the electricity sector to consider connecting communities hosting the power infrastructure to attract public ownership. Committee members have established that communities hosting these power infrastructures are living in total darkness, which in turn attracts vandalism. This was during a members' oversight tour of electricity installations in western Uganda under the guidance of the Electricity Regulatory Authority.
The Parliamentary Committee of Natural Resources has learnt of the public outcry, especially communities hosting huge electricity infrastructures for living in darkness. During the oversight tour, the committee established that communities surrounding Kabulasoke solar power plant are not connected despite having this mega source of power in their locality.
Social responsibility, before even we speak about these people having water, the first thing they would get is power. So we would take it as a policy.
As community members, the project affected area, people, we really needed to get support from this. We are not going to wait for those projects. After all, most of the times when they come, they get consumed up in Kampala.
Committee members recommend that electricity bodies should devise means of distributing power to these communities to attract public ownership and minimize vandalism.
It's true the plant is complete and power has been connected on the main line that was existing, but as domestic users, we still see it as a white elephant because we have not yet benefited.
The Electricity Regulatory Authority assures the public about the already developed programs targeting electricity projects affected persons, including connecting them to the established power infrastructure.
Programs, and one of them we target densification and intensification. This is a program that comes back to follow the grid extensions of government to see that the communities are benefiting, and this program connects now the communities to the distribution network.
During the tour, committee members inspected power interconnections and developed infrastructure to enhance power trade in the East African power pool.
Uganda is hosting the Independent Regulatory Board of the East African power pool. So we are not only connecting East Africa, but we have also future plans to connect as African countries. So the future is really in trading as Africans in power, and this will actually guarantee the tariffs to come down eventually because of competition in trading as East African countries.
Those two substations make power easily available for our local industries in Mbarara, but also for the regional power pool.
To minimize on power losses, the Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited intends to expand the Mbara South substation to enable the flow of electrons to the neighboring Rwanda.
Rwanda has been requesting for about 50 megawatts. But the constraint we have is our source here at Mbarara. If we look at this transformer here, it is rated 60 MVA. Now that means that it cannot carry the full capacity for Rwanda.
Committee members established issues of land wrangles, particularly from the project-affected persons, which delays implementation of projects.
Or they may feel that they are not willing to even release their land. So those are the challenges we normally face during construction projects, especially for transmission lines.
Think that anything related to government, we are supposed to more than double the value of that place. So we ourselves as members of parliament, we are supposed to inculcate in the minds of our communities that any project started by government is your project.
The focus on borderline substations and interconnections by the electricity sector targets to harmonize regional power trade and minimize the burden of deemed energy for surplus generated power. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
And the Mulago National Referral Hospital has set up a free 10-day ear, nose and throat surgical camp to reduce on the backlog of patients who require surgery, especially children of school-going age. The ENT department at Mulago Hospital receives many patients from all over the country suffering from various conditions.
The Department of Ear, Nose and Throat, ENT, at Mulago National Referral Hospital organized a free 10-day ENT surgical camp to reduce on the backlog of patients on the waiting list since 2021. A number of ENT specialists were lined up for full range of medical and surgical services for children with problems of ear, nose and throat. The surgeons have been performing thousands of more common procedures. The ear, Nose and Throat Surgical Camp was focused to offer surgery to children, especially for the school-going age, as a back-to-school gift.
The rate at which we have been clearing this backlog was just 5 cases per week. But now in this camp, we have been clearing 25 cases per day. So in one day, we have been covering work which would have taken us 5 weeks. Now imagine 640 patients at the time we were waiting. At that rate, in a year, we could do less than 200 children. In a year. So if we had 600, it means the one at number 645, 41 was going to wait for 3 more years of poor sleep, not only of the child, but poor sleep of the parents. Failure to concentrate in class the following day because they are dozing.
Dr. Fred Wiso, an ENT specialist at Mulago National Referral Hospital, noted that ear, nose and throat problems can affect anyone regardless of the age, and advised the public to always seek medical attention whenever they have ENT problems. Dr. Wiso also revealed that allergy is the biggest underlying reason why people, especially children, require ENT surgery. But what are the other causes of ENT problems?
So let's help our children if we can avoid waking up 4-year-olds at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to take them to school when the weather is cold and we are packed for them cold drinks. These are the things which promote persistence of these swellings, and eventually they will develop into swellings that cannot go back with the drug.
ENT specialists also advised against the practice of self-medication and off-the-counter drugs. If ENT problems are not addressed on time, it can lead to heart failure and later death, even in children.
There are very many over-the-counter drugs which people rush to when their child has a blocked nose or throat. Many of them are dangerous if they are used beyond 1 week. But unfortunately, many people, out of ignorance, without consulting the experts, they go and buy these drugs. The commonest, probably every household which has ever had a child with food, they will tell you, I put isolin, I put ephedrine, Sinarest. These drugs, ladies and gentlemen out there, use them only under the guidance of a qualified ENT practitioner.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Civil society organizations operating in the health sector have called for improved security systems and facilities as a remedy of cases of missing babies and other medical impunities. Center for Health, Human Rights and Development is one of the organizations making this clarion call after successfully pursuing a legal battle involving one Nakaima Fatuma, whose pride of motherhood was robbed over 7 years ago. On 17th of January this year, the High Court in Kampala faulted Mulago National Referral Hospital for violating the rights of Nakaima Fatuma after her baby went missing shortly after a C-section procedure in 2015.
In December 2015, 40-year-old Fatuma Nakaima checked into Mulago National Referral Hospital in labor. Upon arrival in hospital, Fatuma was advised on a C-section, which indeed was performed on her in the same facility. On recovering from anesthetic procedure, Nakaima was welcomed with the bad news of the passing of her child.
She was informed by the health worker that she gave birth to a baby boy who weighed 3.5 kilograms and that this boy died shortly after birth.
Even with this kind of news, Nakaima was dismayed that the medics could not even produce the body of the baby.
bakebera mu kitabo kyawali kuggwanika ng'amannya gange tegaliimu bakebera mu kitabo ky'abalamu waggulu ng'amannya gange gyekali.
To add injury to the wound, Nakaima's husband accused her of infidelity and lying about the baby dying, yet she could not even produce the dead body.
When she asked for the body of that baby, she was informed that it could not be traced. The baby or its body has never been found up to date.
With advice from friends, Nakaima approached a number of non-governmental organizations, including the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, that offered to stand with her in her confusion and despair.
Era nkyebaza ekitongole kino kyennyambye nnyo Zaani Fatuma. Atuuse wano wendi.
FIDA introduced her to Center for Health, Human Rights and Development, CEHAD, and jointly pursued a legal battle for over 7 years that concluded in favor of Nakaima.
After over 7 years of litigating the case, the High Court of Uganda, through Honorable Justice Philip Odochi, recognized and upheld the fundamental right to health and ordered that the failure of Mulago National Referral Hospital to give Ms. Nakaima Fatuma her baby after birth and to provide her with information concerning the whereabouts of her baby, dead or alive, is a violation of her right to health.
It is against this background that the Center for Health, Human Rights and Development, CEHAD, advises government on the need for high-quality security services in both public and private hospitals to guard against such eventualities.
What we are really interested in is systematic change to the point of government health facilities and private facilities with the overall mandate of Ministry of Health being alive to monitoring health facilities to ensure that there are cameras. We've had cases before of this nature, that the medical officers in charge have proper data and records, that should anything happen, it's easy to trace what went wrong.
Dorothy Amuron, the acting Deputy Executive Director CEHAD, cites this as one of the many cases they have handled, appealing to the medical fraternity to work within the professional ethics.
Mrs. Nakaima here today is just not a single person that you're seeing here. She's a voice that is representing the bigger numbers out there that have probably not made it to hospitals or whose cases have not come before our attention. One, probably because they're not privileged to even afford means of transport to even come up to Kampala, for example, to seek some remedies, legal remedies.
A 50 million shilling compensation notwithstanding, Nakaima's journey to discovering the actual whereabouts of her baby may remain a mere tale following the conclusion of the matter in court. For now, CEHAD pledges to continue offering psychosocial support to Nakaima. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
And the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Busitama University. Under the terms of the MOU, which is effective immediately, the two organizations will collaborate on research and training projects in the realm of the environment. The ceremony was presided over by Busitama's Vice-Chancellor, Paul Wako, and NEMA's Executive Director, Akankwase Birirega, in the presence of the Chairperson of the NEMA Board, James Okotoku.
The Executive Director at the National Environmental Authority, Birirega Kankwasha, highlights the importance of collaborations.
It will promote digital penetration through establishment of networks where NEMA and Busitama will promote citizen engagement and civic participation in the conservation and management of the environment. And we shall also work together to engage other partners, other development partners, for advancement of our mutual interests.
NEMA seeks to enlist Busitama's skilled personnel and unique proficiency in technology, innovation, finance, environment, agriculture, and business in the hopes of furthering its efforts in promoting natural resources management, environmental compliance, and an eco-friendly approach to the environment.
And universities are good in this, in getting information. So they should work with people who are in the field there, hands-on. You share information so that the university also collects the most appropriate data, relevant data, to solve a particular type of problem.
Bustema University has extensive experience in research and would like to engage in collaborative training, research, and innovations to deliver quality products and services to address and give solutions to environmental challenges.
We are currently piloting some technologies which will protect our environment from further degradation. A typical example is the pilot study which is going on, supported by the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat in the Office of the President, on reinforcing our roads using plastics. This pilot is going on, and we believe these are some of the benefits which we bring on board in this collaboration.
Justin Nakami, UBC News.
And as a prelude to the Comrade International Day, the Uganda Workers Association collaborated with the Ministry of Water and Environment for a 62-kilometer water from Kamdini Town Council in Oyam District to Gulu City. This initiative aims at raising awareness about the preservation and protection of wetlands, coinciding with the global celebration of World Wetland Day in Gulu City for the first time.
The team leader of Work for the Environment expressed that the work serves as a platform to sensitize people along the 65-kilometer stretch about the danger of destroying the wetland.
As you know, there's a lot of wetland degradation taking place. So we want to use this opportunity as we commemorate the World Wetland Day to tell people about the dangers of encroaching on wetland, and we plan to engage the community around and sensitize them to disease from misusing the wetland.
Gloria Mutunyi, who joined the work out of her love for the environment, urges locals, especially those in urban centers and cities, to cease from polluting water in the wetland to safeguard the living organism inhabiting in the water.
I am working because of my love for the environment and to save the wetlands due to the increased pollution that is happening to our wetlands. We find problems such as flooding, where people will have to vacate their homes due to the they encroach on wetlands, hence like leaving the wildlife or leaving the nature with no place to be, hence leading to problems like flooding. So
while flagging off, the team from both the Uganda Workers Associations and Ministry of Water and Environment, Benson Abila, the chairman of Yam District Local Government, called for collective responsibility among all stakeholders to protect and conserve wetland, ensuring the region receives sufficient rain.
Let us conserve our wetland, and those wetlands, when we conserve them, there are factors that bring rain, the factors that feeds our animal, the factors that feeds our fish.
And with that, we take a quick break. We'll return with more details.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Hi, my name is Dennis Masindo Nyango, former Uganda Cranes captain and goalkeeper. My kind of a tank at home is a Crest tank. I use it at the farm and at home. I recommend it for everyone.
Welcome back. You are still watching Eastern Night. The judiciary is gearing up for the 25th Annual Judges Conference scheduled to take place from the 5th to the 8th of February in Kampala. The primary focus of the conference is to deliberate on strategies to improve the delivery of justice to the public. In conjunction with the conference, the judiciary will also mark a significant occasion on the 9th of February by commissioning the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal buildings, coinciding with the opening of the new law year.
Justice Maika Chibita, the chairperson governing council of the Judicial Training Institute, anticipates a gathering of 5,000 attendees and delegates from outside Uganda.
The general objective of the conference is to take stock of the judiciary's performance in the year 2023, which is the previous year, and to help reposition ourselves to execute better our constitutional mandates.
Dr. Livingstone Sewanyana is going to be giving the keynote on the topic or the theme, a people-centered approach to justice. Just to add also that after we have had the presentation from Tanzania and we have understood how they have managed to strategize along the reduction of case backlog, we will be receiving an update on the performance enhancement tool.
Chibita further outlines key topics for discussion during the conference, emphasizing the need to address the persisting challenge of case backlog, as part of their commitment to enhance justice for the public.
Among others include sharing views and experiences, 2, securing feedback on the implementation of the most recent legal reforms and enactments. We also hope to come up with better understanding of best practices in case backlog reduction strategies and implementation.
The 25th Annual Judges Conference is set to revolve around the theme, a people-centered approach to justice. Simultaneously, the judiciary will inaugurate the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal buildings, the twin towers located at the judicial headquarters in Kampala. The ceremony is slated for the opening of the new law year on 9th February 2024. The nearing completion of the new structures will provide essential facilities such as courtrooms, conference halls, boardrooms, and judges' chambers, among others.
The target time for the superstructure was 3 years of 9 floors. But in between, we added on another floor to cater for conferences, in the case we have got conferences to be held here, not outside. Even with the extra floor that we put here, we're finishing with the time.
Dr. Pius Bigirimana, the permanent secretary of the judiciary, reveals that the estimated cost of the building was initially 110 billion, but due to the effective management, they have managed to save 16 billion.
Because 16 billion shillings arrived at, if you look at the cost, the unit cost at the time of starting or estimation and the time of completion, you then multiply by the area, you get 16 billion shillings. I tell you, state of art, if you go inside, you will not believe you are in Uganda.
The ceremony to open the new law year and commissioning the Twin Towers will be graced by the President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala. Deborah Namamonde, Suzanne Nabugudde, UBC News.
Meanwhile, in a bold move to enhance justice for litigants, the judiciary is set to host its inaugural mega National Court Open Day. This unprecedented event is scheduled for the 29th of February this year, taking place at Kololo Independence Grounds. During this occasion, court users and the public will engage with stakeholders from the justice, law and order sector, addressing issues that impede their access to justice.
For several years, the judiciary has engaged with the public through open court days by providing a platform for court users and the public to voice concerns that may hinder their access to justice. During these sessions, stakeholders from the justice, law and order sector actively participate in addressing these issues. In a departure from the previous practices, the judiciary is gearing up for its first ever mega national open day court session on 29th February 2024 at Kololo Independence Grounds.
One of the things that is key that everybody should be looking forward to the National Court Open Day is the issue of the exhibitions, where it is not just judiciary showing what it does, but we shall have the other justice actors. Police will be there, the prosecution agencies, DPP, Inspectorate of Government, they will be there. Prisons will be there, other justice stakeholders, the legal aid service providers, all of them.
The Chief Registrar, Sir Langasiu, emphasizes that over 1,000 court users are expected to participate in the groundbreaking event.
Certainly, it's a day we are going to use to receive feedback. So we want the public to come and tell us these are the challenges that we have. These are the things we are not understanding. This is how we expect you to operate. It gets that national outlook because it is a day that is going to involve the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and all the 7 divisions of the High Court are going to participate in this open day.
The intervention will bring together stakeholders from the entire justice, law and order sector to engage directly with litigants. Unlike previous open court days, the event will include officials from the High Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court, among others.
We want the public to understand how we operate. Somebody may be wondering, what does it take and how do I appeal to the Supreme Court? That guidance will be given on that day. How about the Court of Appeal? You will understand. What are the procedures and the processes in the civil division of the High Court, in the commercial court, in the anti-corruption court, in the international crimes division?
Live streaming tusuubira okubaweereza abatasobola okubeerawo nga tuyita mu mawulire TV zammwe okulabika nti n'atasobole kujja kololo asobola okubeera waali era n'atufollowinga.
The theme for this momentous occasion is a people-centered approach to justice. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
So the distribution of iron sheets has officially commenced in Karamoja sub-region, with Abim being the first district to benefit. State Minister for Minerals Peter Lokeris presided over the event and issued a stern warning to beneficiaries against selling the relief materials, emphasizing that such actions would lead to arrest. The community empowerment program is in line with a presidential directive aimed at enhancing livelihoods, particularly for the reformed warriors in the Karamoja sub-region.
Mu mwaka wa 2022, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yalagira minisitule ekola ku nsonga za Karamoja okugaba embuzi n'amabaati eri aba
We apologize for that. Now, the fruits of NAM and G77 plus China summits are beginning to be seen as many investors are starting to take an interest in the country. Ugandan ambassador to Sudan and Morocco, who was appointed by the president to welcome the delegates, said that investors around the world have shown interest, with the latest being the best in Kuwait.
Earlier this year, the country hosted 5 internationally recognized summits, including NAM, G77 plus China, former British colonial speakers, Business Summit, and IGAD. Many Ugandans were left wondering how Ugandans will benefit from these events. The Ugandan ambassador to Sudan and Morocco, who was appointed by the president to welcome the delegates, said that investors around the world have shown interest, with the latest being the best in Kuwait.
Potential investors, especially those who are supposed to come from Kuwait, we are expecting them to be here by next month, including Sheikh Fuad Al-Ghanim, the well-known businessman in Kuwait, and not only in Kuwait but also in Middle East.
Semodu said the love, welcome and care shown by the Ugandans to the guests did not leave the guests the same. NAM and G77 plus China each have at least 100 countries, and their visit to the country gave the president the opportunity to hold talks with several, and many promised to invest in the country.
His Excellency engaged them and emphasized on value addition, especially to our coffee, fish, and also fruits. And I'm confident that the outcome shall be good and shall be coming very soon, because inshallah, because one of the investors His Excellency met was the president of the Chamber of Casablanca in Morocco, who committed himself to do value addition to our coffee, fish, and fruits.
Among the requests the president made to investors was to come and manufacture electric vehicles. Semodu, who had the opportunity to speak to visiting officials, said the rallies further improved the country's image abroad.
Excellency, the president urged them also to get involved in electrical cars, and they picked interest, and the raw material is already here. We have it here in our country in plenty. So those are some of the opportunities.
President Museveni is currently the chairman of the G77 plus China for a year and the chairman of NAM for 3 years. Sudat Kaye and Nduga Nicholas, UBC News.
And after the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo's tour of Bamunanika County in Luwero, government has committed to repairing the roads with construction underway. Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRED, leads the efforts, urging calm in rural communities during the repairs.
It was a moment of joy and celebration in Chusa Town Council in Luwero District, marking the launching of the long-awaited construction works of various impassable roads in Bamunanika. The launching ceremony, held in Chusa Town Council, was presided over by Abdul Karim Waswa, the personal assistant to Minister Muyingo in Bamunanika, and included officials from UNRA, Canon contractors, and other leaders. This development comes after Minister Muyingo's recent familiarization tour, monitoring various roads in Bamunanika, Luwero District. During the tour, he pledged President Museveni's commitment to rehabilitating roads, especially those destroyed by the heavy rains. The launching ceremony commenced with the Zirowe Chichusa Kamira Bamugolode Road, and others will be constructed accordingly. In the speech read for him by his personal assistant Abdul Karim Waswa, Dr. Muyingo encouraged communities to support the ongoing government construction projects and advised them to utilize the roads for development. Dr. Muyingo encouraged communities to support the ongoing government construction projects and advised them to utilize the roads for development. He cautioned road users, especially snow trucks and lorries, against damaging the roads by avoiding overloading. Some community members, including the OC3 chairperson of Chusa Sub-County, commended Minister Muyingo for continuously lobbying for the development of the area. They also expressed gratitude to the government for fulfilling its pledges. Mary Namkose, Salongo Kasvante, UBC News.
And now let's take you back a bit. The distribution of iron sheets has officially commenced in the Karamoja sub-region, with the being the first district to benefit. The State Minister for Minerals, Peter Lokeris, presided over the event and issued a stern warning to beneficiaries against selling the relief materials, emphasizing that such actions would lead to arrest. This community empowerment program is in line with the presidential directive aimed at enhancing livelihoods, particularly for the reformed warriors in Karamoja sub-region.
The distribution of iron sheets officially began in the Karamoja sub-region, with Abim as the inaugural district to receive the benefits. In 2022, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni directed the Ministry of Karamoja Affairs to distribute goods and iron sheets to reformed warriors and individuals who supported disarmament. Some goods were distributed in 2022, and today 28 beneficiaries from Abim Town Council received iron sheets.
To launch the distribution of these iron sheets.
State Minister for Minerals Peter Lokeris officiated the launch held at Abim Secondary School in Abim Town Council.
You need to put those houses to give us some dignity as the people of Karamoja. And
the Commissioner of Pacification and Development at the Office of the Prime Minister, Norbert Kasirabo, explained the process of generating beneficiary lists.
That are going to get today were all selected by the district leadership together with the security team. We believe they know people better, who are the best people to benefit from this.
Abim Resident District Commissioner James Shilaku expressed optimism that this initiative would assist people in settling and developing. Leaders cautioned beneficiaries against selling the iron sheets.
You are denied in the next people to get there because they will say the others have already sold eaten, forget it. So you will be the enemies of those who are expecting to get more. So we must utilize these iron.
The iron sheets for the intended purpose. Let the iron sheets you are going to have an impact and create a difference in your community. Have the structure built.
Utilize these iron sheets appropriately and sleep in a Mabati house.
The soul of the district and especially the engineer, that they will decide some type of house which is good and it becomes uniform. So when everybody is moving, he says, those are the houses of the iron sheets.
Abim Chief Administration Officer Samuel Burigwa Kalisa clarified the criteria determining eligibility for receiving ENT Shts.
And all the target beneficiaries, 411 households, should be able to get their share of the iron sheets beginning today through the target beneficiary will receive in this lot. I've been reliably informed by the Commissioner from Office of the Prime Minister that we shall have an additional phase 2, to cover the remaining beneficiaries, amounting to 59.
ENT Shts are a vital component of the community empowerment program promised to Karamojong's warriors and those supporting disarmament, aimed at improving their livelihoods. The event took place at Abem Secondary School in Abem Town Council, attended by technical experts from the Office of the Prime Minister, Abem district leaders, security officials, and local residents.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Get value for your money by choosing the right paint. With Global Paints, you don't just paint, but paint for generations to come. Make Global Paints a paint of choice and make your building a paradise. We have weather coat emulsion, undercoat emulsion, silk vinyl emulsion, flat emulsion, super gloss, and high gloss. Global Paint, a reliable product.
The energy of this land comes to life in dreams and memories. It lights up in these nights and leads us to new horizons. It pushes us to go further and see bigger. The energy of this land comes from here. It comes from Africa, and it vibrates in each of us.
Powered by Africa.
Oryx Lubricants, powered by Africa.
Welcome to Business News. Uganda Development Bank, UDB, has taken on a loan portfolio guarantee agreement with the African Guarantee Fund, AGF, to scale up lending to SMEs, women, youth-affiliated businesses and green projects in Uganda with credit worth 16 billion Ugandan shillings and approximately $5 million US. The announcement was made during an agreement signing ceremony that was held at Sheraton Hotel, Kampala.
UDB special program segment that was launched in 2021 to address capital needs of youth, women and green-centric SMEs in Uganda has taken on 16 billion shillings to loan to beneficiaries through this loan portfolio guarantee agreement with the African Guarantee Fund.
So the minimum is 50 million Uganda shillings. The maximum depends on the type of specific product that you benefit from, but for SMEs it should be 720 million. For youth, also 720, and for women 900 million shillings. So that's the maximum from the loan point of view.
African Guarantee Fund, AGF, is a specialized guarantee provider whose mission is to facilitate economic development and poverty reduction in Africa and is headquartered in Nairobi, Kenya.
All the commercial banks, they will tell you they care about only two stakeholders, the regulator and their shareholders. How do they make more money? And how do they comply to all the regulatory constraints? That's it. So anytime we have to discuss with them, we need to show them what can benefit to them. When we discuss with the development bank, it's a different type of conversation. It's not about what they are benefiting, it's about what the SMEs, the youth, the women are benefiting.
Given that the SME sector accounts for about 90% of Uganda's private sector and generates over 75% of the country's GDP, the bank's value proposition seeks to propel these groups in all sub-regions of the country towards higher business assets and revenues targeting agriculture, tourism, industry, human capital development, and infrastructure sectors, with loans below 12% interest per annum.
Youth, women, SMEs. You have a wonderful idea. Yes, even at ideation, we come and work with you from the grassroots, okay? Now, what does this mean? It doesn't mean that anyone with a random idea can come and help, but at least we help structure it.
Through this partnership, UDB becomes the first national development bank in Africa that AGF is joining forces with, as it refocuses to development financing for the next 5 years. Wadulo Mark Arnold for UBC Business.
So are you going to...
the only water that can quench my thirst. Aquafina, we are good, good, good. Aquafina, hydration that is good, good, good. With essential and good. 10 over 10 water bottle. Aquafina is my drinking water, my love. Oh, oh, oh.
In the production process of Aquafina, we expertly filter every drop, providing clear and perfect tasting water to help you keep hydrated with the added benefit of minerals. Aquafina is bottled by Pepsi Cola International in Uganda and is available at only 1,000 shillings.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Bunyoro Kitara segment. Come and learn about the glorious Kitara Empire.
Bunyoro would have simply created an East African community that we are looking for today.
The rulers of Bunyoro are actually Luos.
When the Bachwez weekend Lana war disappeared, that we see the emergence of all these other kingdoms that were under Bunyoro Kingdom. That's Buganda, Bunyoro, Karagwe, Rwanda, Burundi, Nkore.
We are similar people, and genetically we are even the same people.
Use that word pamoja. Premiering on 3rd February 2024 at the National Theatre from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja? Proudly supported by UBC, the National Theatre, Ndere Center, Tam Cinemax, Makerere University, and the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Tuko Pamoja.
Banyeta ko Muhangi Donata, the chairperson wa grupu.
I am the chairperson of this group that got money. The group is called Kalsandala HIV/AIDS Craftswomen Group. UWEP gave us money in 2017 and they gave us 3.3 million Ugandan shillings. We used it in 1 year and got 23 million out of it. We do baskets and kitchen gardens, and we also have a saving group. We thank UWEP because this money helped us as women. Women can now educate their children and build houses because many of them are single mothers. We work without jealousy because we want to leave a legacy that even those who will be around tomorrow will appreciate.
Now in sports, in continuation with their commitment to the sport of golf in Uganda and the region, NCBA Bank has announced sponsorship for the NCBA Uganda Open 2024. The launch of the Open coincided with the start of the Victoria Cup, which is a senior golf event between Uganda and Kenya.
The Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa will this year host the NCBA Bank Juniors Open, which is in partnership with US Kids Golf as part of initiatives to groom Africa's next generation of golfers.
NCBA Open is an annual multi-day tournament for the avid junior golfers from 6 to 18, and we are keen that they will showcase their talent in this golf camp to introduce more juniors into the game.
The tournament, in which NCBA has injected 80 million shillings, is crafted to prepare the young generation for greatness in future tournaments in Uganda, the region, and indeed globally, in line with NCBA Bank's ethos of go for it.
We believe at NCBA in investing not only in the financial well-being of our communities, but also a holistic development of our youth. You will know that Uganda has got one of the largest, youngest populations, and we believe that this is a way in which we can actually get them involved in meaningful activities.
It's also in line with the bank's belief that the uniqueness and sportsmanship in golf has the potential to enhance integrity, friendship, discipline, and self-esteem in African communities.
You know, golf, especially in a competition level, is not all about just the skill. It's about emotional stability as well. And we always encourage that parents will be allowed to caddy and participate in the event so that it's family inclusive.
The two-day event that starts 31st March is expected to bring together over 200 junior golfers representing over a dozen nationalities.
This event, to us as Uganda Golf Union, speaks into the bigger strategic plan for the next 5 years that we have for the junior golfers in this country. So when we hear an event like this, we come running and say, how can we onboard this kind of initiative to see that collectively we're taking the same route that speaks into the strategic plan.
The best golfers from this tournament will secure a place in the Rome Classic in Italy and the Big 5 South African tournament. It's also an opportunity to enable children to learn the rules and etiquette of golf, aimed at improving their social, psychological, and physical attributes. Meanwhile, the belated 2023 Victoria Golf Cup between Uganda and Kenya has started at the Perseverance to Uganda Golf Club Kitante. Kenya has dominated both the foursomes and four-ball better ball formats, ending day one on 5.5 points, while Uganda is on 2.5.
The singles in the morning, I had an idea what I wanted to do, and the first flight, the first team, they didn't deliver the way I wanted them to play. So you know, that's my seed one, my seed two, and I decided to bench them because of what happened, and then I put the youngsters in front and to see if they could, you know, challenge your seed one, but that wasn't meant to be. But still, they did well.
Despite a dismal day one, Uganda's coach Flavia Namakula remains optimistic.
We just need to stay calm and remove the pressure from ourselves. Because I know, we are the ones hosting and the boys are under pressure. But if we can calm down and just play our game, I'm sure we can win.
Kenyan High Commissioner to Uganda, General George Owino, is impressed by his charges, but chooses to advise Africa on talent identification.
Every sport, you will find somebody who's maybe talented to play football or golf, but must learn that skill. So I'm talking about training. So we must have training, wholesome training for these individuals, so that they grow up better in that particular life. And this training must start very early.
Action continues on Friday and will conclude with a singles category on Saturday.
And quarter-final draws for the University Football League have been met at Katikati Restaurant in Kampala. Let's take a look.
Nkumba University has been drawn to play reigning champions Uganda Martyrs University in Nkozi at the quarter-final stage of the 2023-2024 University Football League.
Meeting a defending champion is not something that is simple, but we believe that we are ready because when you look at Ugandan football, almost all players are on the same level.
In other ties, 2012 winners Makerere University faced 2019 champions Uganda Christian University Mukono, as Bugema University entertains two-time winners Makerere University Business School.
It is a very interesting fixture where both of the teams have established themselves in this league and they have something to play for. Therefore, we're anticipating a very good fixture, we're anticipating a very good game.
The final fixture is two-time champions Kampala University against last season's losing finalists St. Lawrence University.
Last season we played St. Lawrence and they beat us, but this time round I think we have gone back to the drawing board and we are going to prepare ourselves and we come hoping to win, of course.
These quarter-final ties will have two legs, with the first on 15th February and the second on 12th March. Elsewhere, ex-Press FC forward Isaac Wagoina and his coach Alexis Abide have been named the respective Pilsner Star Times Uganda Premier League December monthly award winners.
What I can tell or advise the young players is like with the football, you have to forget whatever distracts you and concentrate on football.
Well, that does it for news tonight. Thank you for watching throughout the hour. I am Rhoda Ngozi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Tarehe Sita is a crucial day in Uganda's history. It is marked annually to remember the day when the National Resistance Army, led by Yoweri Museveni and 27 armed men, attacked Kabamba military barracks in Mubende district. The attack led to the 5-year Luwero Bush War that brought President Museveni to power on 26 January 1986. This year, the 43rd Tarehe Sita celebrations will be held under the theme celebrating the people's struggle for unity, security and peace for socio-economic transformation. The event is on Tuesday, 6th February at Bugweri.
Well, welcome everyone to the biggest game on the continent.
And you have to, you've got to just seize those moments and enjoy them as much as you possibly can.